Hi, I'm Chas, and you're watching Chas's Crazy Creations. To start this project, you're going to need some Dollar Tree garden kneeling pads. The first thing we're going to do is build a template, and I had saved some of these old paper bags, and I'll be using that, but you could also use scrap paper. Now I cut the bag open and I'm ready to draw my bunny template on here. So the first thing I want to do is draw a bunny template. So I'm just going to, I did use my pencil a little bit ago and try to sketch one out. And again, this is a template, so you're just using this to essentially create the bunny design. Now, one thing that you can make note of is if you don't like the way the template is, you can always draw it again, erase it. You can see here my lines aren't going to be perfect, and that's okay because again, this is just the template that I'm creating. So I'll go ahead and finish up drawing this template, and then we can talk about what is next. Okay, so you'll notice I only drew half of a bunny, and there is a reason for this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is cut off the extra here of the bag. I wanted to make sure I had enough on all the sides to do this, but I also knew up front that only this section would fit on that garden pad. So I needed to keep it in with that, but in case I had any bleed over, I had the ability to fix that. So I'm just gonna finish cutting this little section off here. All right, so the reason I only did one section is because now I wanna fold it in half. So I'm gonna fold my template in half here, like so. This is important because what I'm doing here is creating equal sides. If I tried to draw this on all the way around on both sides, I would not have had the same ears, the same sides, etc. So by doing this, I am creating kind of equal sides. And so I'm just aligning this up, creating the fold now, like you used to do when you were in school and you had to make hearts, you folded them in half. It's the same idea. So I'm just finishing this bunny's ears and getting them all lined up here. I want to make sure that I have plenty of room so that I don't mess up. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and trim this. So again, just like your Valentine's Day hearts you used to make back in the day, folding it in half so they were equal on both sides, this is the same concept. So I'm just creating balance on both sides. So I'm gonna finish trimming this out and then my template will be finished. Now, if you are not comfortable freehanding this, there are plenty of templates available online and you can blow them up to the size that you like. And I'll show you one of those in 1 second when I'm done trimming this out. So I'm almost done. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this last ear, like so. Great. Let me move my scraps. And as you see, I open it up and I've got my bunny template. Now, if you weren't comfortable with that, as I said, there are plenty of templates online. So you can take and print one and then blow it up. Now, as you can see, mine will be bigger and this one wouldn't have worked for me. I would have had to blow it up and figure out how to make that fit to the size I wanted. So that's the only thing that you'll have to do with something like this if you print it. Okay, so I've got my garden pad back. I'm going to place my template onto my garden pad. Now, I often recommend for this next step, you might want to tape this on here temporarily just to help hold it in place. But now you're going to trace your template and you can use a permanent marker, you can use a dry erase marker, you can use a pencil, a pen, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, and now we peel off the template, and as you can see here, our bunny is revealed, and now it's time to cut it out. So there are a lot of ways you can cut it out. You can use a scissors. This foam is pretty great. You can also use some utility scissors to work at it. One of the things I like using is I just have this inexpensive serrated knife that I got from the dollar store that I use for crafting. which is one of the things I like to use. You can also use a razor blade. You can also use a hot knife. So there are a lot of options when it comes to that. So I'm choosing to use my serrated knife, and all I'm gonna do is I've protected my surface. Just carefully cut at my foam. Now, one of the things I know is that it's a little hard to get all the way through. So what I do is I just like to kind of start with the initial cut, as you can see I'm doing here. And then I will end up flipping it upright. So I'll end up going like this and kind of cutting through the rest of the way slowly here so that it helps me get all the way through. But it's basically giving me a little bit of a guide so that I can get through a little easier, and then I just go nice and slow, finishing, you know, that cutting and following this pattern, and then it'll come off. So let me go ahead and finish and show you what this side looks like once I pull it off. Makes a little noise. Notice that I'm cutting away too from my hand, of course, being safe. So see, there you go, and it just cut off. So I'll go ahead and finish cutting this, and then we'll talk about what's next. Okay, here is the big reveal. So we're gonna pop out the bunny here. And there you go, we have our bunny. Now it's time to finish it up. Now it's time to make the bunny face. So I'm gonna take some buttons, because I love buttons, and they add a little texture. So I'm gonna move my Peeps or bunny's eyes and place them. And then once I have that settled, we'll be hot gluing them into place. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add a little hot glue in here and place these buttons into place. Now it is important to think about where you're gonna be placing these as to which kind of glue. So sometimes hot glue works well for inside, but not outside, depending upon where you live if you have a bunch of temperature fluctuation. So I'm using hot glue, but you can use E6000, you can use silicone. There are some other things you can use too. So now I just wait for that to cool, and then we're gonna talk about what you can do next. Okay, so one popular idea might be to take a skewer and put it in the bottom and, you know, stick it in the foam, and then you've got little bunnies through your yard as garden stakes or next to your sidewalk. You could put magnets on the back and put these on your refrigerator. I'm doing something different. I'm actually gonna take some twine, and I'm gonna get myself a decent amount. I'm gonna cut the twine. I'm gonna go ahead and make a knot on the back, like so. Just like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this bunny over. I'm gonna add some hot glue right here. And then I'm gonna place the knot on the hot glue, and I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool. Now, you can hang these on your doors, which is a great like faux wreath. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with mine. Now, I have one more garden mat that I bought because they had a set of 3 colors this year at Dollar Tree. So I'm gonna go ahead and make one more, but this time we're gonna do something a little different with it. And reveal our second bunny. So here the bunny is all made, but this one we're gonna do a little something different too. Now I still wanna be able to hang this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the twine again and make the knot just like before. And then we're gonna add a little hot glue just like before. So, all right, and now I'll wait for that to cool, and then I'm gonna flip it over. So I'm gonna flip my bunny over. This is going to not be the front, but I purchased one of these little bunny tails. So I'm gonna remove that. like so. And we are going to be placing that on this bunny. So I tried to get this little metal clip off and I was struggling, so I could cut it off, but I think the way I'm gonna do it, it won't matter that it's there. So generous amount of glue going here onto this. Need to get my next glue stick to load a little bit so I can get a little, there we go. All right, so generous amount there. Then I just flip, I'm gonna put this towards the bottom and I'm going to center this up and place it there and then wait for this to cool. And then this one will be done. And then we'll be able to go take them and I'll show you what I'm doing with them. So I've went ahead and made a few of these and now I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with them. I'm hanging these on hooks that I use at Christmas time for my garland. So 2 of my bunnies will be hanging here out on the porch. And my other bunny will hang here on my front door. I hope this inspires you to make some bunnies of your own. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and my blog at chascrazycreations.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.